welcome back. It's rebuild time. Now in the back we've got my KTM. We're going to take it down to the dinge pit. We need to give it a quick clean off. Then we're going to go off. It's time to do a top end rebuild on this thing, get it ready for a race we've got coming up in a couple of weeks time. Stay tuned. State of my poor van. Jesus Christ. Wasn't actually too bad.
I better get a fucking jacket on, it's chilly out here.
Was not too bad at all. Right, now we're waiting for the piston kit to arrive. Brought a few bits down to the shop. I'm going to repaint these bloody things. Going to give that a rehone. It's looking quite smooth in there. We might as well rebuild the head down at the shop as well. Let's crack on. Well, that's the rag guards. It's something that's bothered me for a long time. Be nice to get them painted back up. That is what we're going to use to put a crosshatch back into this. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it's worn quite smooth. So what we'll do is we'll use this one on the drill down through. And that'll put that crosshatch back in there. So when you're using these ball hones, you want to really make sure you use plenty of lube inside the cylinder. Lube up your hone as well. Good wipe out. can see it's got that matte finish rather than it being polished smooth, and you've got that nice cross hatch in there. And that's just going to make sure that them new piston rings on that new piston stand best chance possible to get a good seal on that cylinder, prevent blow by and all the rest of it. So I would say that's pretty good now. Just using a Scotch pad on the end of the drill there, just getting rid of the gasket residue off the surface of that cylinder head. So now I'm going to use this brass wire wheel on the drill just to clean off the surface of these valves in the combustion chamber of the cylinder head. Just takes off some of them carbon deposits that have built up over the last year or so. There we go. It's looking brand new again, ready to go back on. Okay, so we've got the cylinder head cleaned up a bit. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to install some new valve stem seals. I'm using this valve spring compressor. We're going to take them valves out. We have a stock one. Why has it got to be so violent? You want to be really careful when you install these that you don't tear them, otherwise they're never going to work properly and your bike's going to smoke from the get-go. So push that one on. You see that one's in there. Then I always like to pre-oil the valve slightly. Help it go through that stem seal without tearing it, like that. And then we've got the juggling axe putting all this back together. So now we've got these sanded, sort of, kind of a little bit. Gonna shoot some of this etching primer on there before we stick a top coat on. That's just working great. Time for some black. Right, well that's the head rebuilt. We've got new valve stem seals and the valve's been lapped back in. We've got the rehoned cylinder and my new Vertex pistons turned up and a full gasket set, some oil filters. So let's get all this loaded up in the van and go put the bike back together finally. Hello.
Alright?
Right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, so
Radio station, apparently.
I might have messed up when I loaded stuff up into my van earlier.
Right.
I didn't have the box. I was just carrying all my bits. I might have dropped my fucking cylinder. Oops. Wrong way. Oh, it's like it never happened. Sort of.
Perfect.
Come on, you fiddly little bastard.
Battery still be connected. I mean, I've got a smoke alarm, and there is a fire extinguisher on the wall behind you, mate, if you need it. So, and it is a powder one. Awesome.
But it's really gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah, but it'll put the fire out, Ash. that's the point.
Fuck that. Take my chances.
nothing personal, but I'd rather save it.
Apparently, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently them ones.
We're prone to that.
Ish. Perfect. Straight up gear.
Okay.
And if you start crunching,
the likelihood is somebody's got shot at because they know the gearbox is on its way out.
might not be. It could just be one of them things. So your quick crash course on your valve clearances, you want to find out what your tolerance is. For the KTM, your intake valve clearance has to be between 0.10 and 0.20 using your feeler gauges. See the measurements on there. Just pick one to start with, so I'll just go in the middle with a 0.15 and we'll start with the exhaust, the intake rather. And then between the actual cam lobe itself and down there, I don't know if you can see that, you got your lifter that the cam rides on. You have to wiggle your feeler gauge down between the two. You can see that one doesn't quite fit in there, so you go down a size. So that's a 0.15, let's go to a 0.10 and pray that this actually fits. I'll chuck them on the bench. Didn't get that on camera. Sorry. Yeah, so that's too tight. So we know that that one needs re-shimming. Go ahead and check this side as well. Such an awkward job. Also too tight. And the exhaust is 0.12 to 0.22. Sweet. So what you want to do is if you can get it between the two, if it's really slack, you want to keep going up size your feeler gauges until you feel like a real light drag. Don't know if you want to feel that one there. You can feel like a really light drag, and that's like the right fit.
Just a smidge of resistance.
Yeah, and that's what you want to feel with your feeler gauge. If it's like really easy to go in and out, you want to go up to the next size of the feeler gauge to know that you're at the right size, if that makes sense. So we know my intake valves are tight, so we're going to find the shim that fits, the gauge that fits. They are really tight. Oh, okay. That's quite slack. Okay. Off. But let's just say that it was the 0.08 and it needs to be the 0.01. What you have to do is you have to measure your shim, which I measured before I put the engine back together. Still recording? Yeah. So my inlet shims in number 1 is a 2.15 shim. And 2 is a 2.20 shim, and obviously if you was tight by 0.2 you would then have to go 0.2 smaller shim, if that makes sense.
What is it? So it's intake and exhaust, or are you okay on one pair?
I'm good on the exhaust, surprisingly.
So it's just the inlet shims that need changing?
Possibly, they might not. It's awkward, because if my feeler gauges, I've bent them so that I can actually
Get 'em in.
feed them in, whereas I don't want to bend stuff that ain't mine. It's, but that one there is actually good.
Okay, and that's at what?
That's at 1.10, which I mean it's on the limit. It is on the
It's
limit.
on the limit for minimum.
For minimum, yeah.
Right.
So
Which means it's on the tight side.
it's a little bit on the tight side, but it is within tolerance. And it's the same with that one. So now that I've actually managed to get it around the corner, you can see I can actually move the 0.10 in and out.
So that might be like a 0.12 or a 0.15.
So, well, no, I'd say that's a 0.10 bob on. You can feel the slight resistance.
So that's on these two. So what about on the other two?
The other two, they are at a 0.15, the exhaust, which are actually like pretty much bob on in the middle.
Bang in the
Considering
middle,
I had to reseat them valves, quite happy with that. So it's a new day.
It started getting pretty late last night, so we called it. I'll come back this morning, finish up. We did manage to get the engine back together. Not far off getting this thing running now. I've got to finish up plumbing up the cooling, stick the carb back on, and then I think we can fire it up.
When your heart is racing at the speed of light, and you feel like you got nowhere else to go. No, I want you till the sun comes in the morning light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe, I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
Alright, let's see if she's going to run.
I pull that away. Right, spot on.
I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
leave it outside running, get it up to temperature, make sure there's no leaks or anything. She's ready to race. But like I say, we've got a race next weekend. I will be filming it, but if you want to see that, you have to head over to my channel, which is AJH Rides. I'll put a link down in the description. Give us a follow. You can see the progress of the race there. Catch you next time.